Hello everyone. I and my colleagues will be presenting about doing a business in Democratic Republic of Congo. Before starting a business anywhere around the world, you need to know where exactly the business you're going to do is situated at. As I said, I will be talking about um, doing a business in Democratic Republic of Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo is situated in the Central Africa. The president is called Felix Tshisekedi. Congo is one of the 11th largest country in the world. Its neighboring countries South Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Angola. Their currency is Congolese franc. As you can see the flag, you need to know what it represents. The flag represents peace, wealth of the nation, and the star represents the country's bright future. So doing a business in Democratic Republic of Congo requires unity and progress. My colleague will give you insight of what they are going to talk about. Sara is going to talk about the political aspect. Kethia will talk about the geographical areas, pressures, the socio-economic, Benedicta, laws and regulations. And finally, David will talk about the cross-cultural aspect. Moving on,
Before doing business, it is important to know the politic situation and a little bit of the politic history of the country. There were many presidents that led the country before the actual. Some of them are Mobutu Sese Seko that led the country for 32 years. There was also the two Kabilas, Laurent Kabila and his son on the right, Joseph Kabila. The current president is Felix Tshisekedi, which was elected on January the 24th in 2019. Therefore, he is in the Union for Democracy and Social Progress. According to the World Report of 2020, there has been a decline in politic repression since he came to power. But of course, don't talk about politics when doing business. The two don't go together, as it is still a taboo subject, especially in Congo where the political situation isn't that great.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is located in the heart of Central Africa. Congo is actually the 11th largest country in the world. It is smaller than Eldra, but bigger than any other country in Africa and Saudi Arabia. The capital of Democratic Republic of Congo is Kinshasa, and the capital is actually the largest city in Central Africa. And the city serves actually for the country's official administrative, economic, and cultural center. Kinshasa is also located next to the Congo River, and the Congo River is actually a long river that spans across 9 countries in West Central Africa. This river provides food, water, medicine, and transport for people around that area. RDC is also known. Is also one of the most important countries in Africa for biodiversity. It has the highest number of species for almost all groups of organisms apart from plants.
Congo has a population of 89 million people. The life expectancy at birth of both sexes combined is 61.6 years, with females having a 63.2 life expectancy and males having a 60.0 life expectancy. The main source of food for the people is agriculture, and their main source of resource is mining. Despite the country having high agriculture potential, the lack of transportation and infrastructure has led to the decline in farming as a business, meaning the people only farm to eat. When talking about the commercial trade sector of the DRC, it mostly consists of informal activities. Majority of the economy is informal, which leads to difficulties in starting a business there, since there is no formal procedure or way of doing stuff. The government thus has the intention of formalizing the economy, which will not only increase the livelihood of the people, but also broaden your tax base, minimize illegal activities, and also prevent people from exploiting them.
As the country has a young and rapidly growing workforce, it is important to create sufficient jobs for this young population. The challenge won't be to reduce unemployment, but to tackle inactivity and underemployment. Therefore, by integrating agribusiness into the value chain and to focus on skill instead of education.
There are a lot of risks when starting a business in Congo. Some of them are political instability, high import taxes, low consumer spending. But if you're willing to invest in Congo, since there isn't a lot of infrastructure and the rest, you'll be a monopoly in Congo. That means you'll be earning a lot of money, you'll be getting a lot of profits since there aren't a lot of companies competing with you. Here are a list of investment opportunities you can start in Congo. Agriculture is one of the investment opportunities you get a profit from if you do start in Congo. Power generation facilities, infrastructure and transportation, entertainment and tourism, and also education and children activities.
According to World Bank Ease of Doing Business, Congo scored in January 36.2 on the Ease of Doing Business, putting Congo on the 183rd position out of 190 countries on the global ranking. This shows how poor the business environment of Congo is. Situations such as lack of proper infrastructure, corruption, causes starting business in Congo to be very difficult. But with all this said, Congo is open and stands positive to foreign investors. Congolese are considered to be hardworking people and work mainly in the agriculture, forestry, fishing, and mining industry. The two main cities they do business are Kinshasa and Lubumbashi.
Compared to Belgium, the cost of doing normal business in the Congo is much lower. For sole proprietorship, you need to contact the guichet unique and complete an application with the required fees. The guichet unique is actually the only authority to perform essential formalities for business creation to approve business application. To receive a national ID number and a business registration and authorization, you will actually just need to pay 78,700 Congolese franc, which equals 40 American dollars. In addition to the application requirements, some sectors have additional requirements for starting and conducting commercial activities. For example, if you want to open a mining, you must have an official ID card issued by the Minister of Mines, and you will need to have at least $50,000 for diamond trading and $25,000 for gold trading. But beside that, you will also need to have a proof that you can pay the RDC Treasury annual fee of $250,000 for diamond and gold trading.
An investor must be able to provide a CFE, which means Central de Formalities des Entreprises. Congo has an investment code adopted in 1994 that provides a framework to protect investment and investors. The laws and regulations in Congo are into three branches, which are public law, private law, and economic law. Most foreign direct investments is governed by the 2002 Investment Code. It is important for investors to follow the necessary procedures to establish a business in Congo.
There are business registration steps that you need to know when trying to do a business in Democratic Republic of Congo. There are methodology steps that are required. If the document are not in French, it needs to be sworn in a translated document into French. The registered company must file every year their financial statements. They need to open a bank account. They need to register with the tax authorities, notify the Ministry of Labor, register with the social securities, hire the employees, and start working. The comparison with the Belgian registration, investors that want to start a business in Belgium has to consider choosing the type of company they want. They need to open a bank account, just similar with the Democratic Republic of Congo. They need to draw up an article of association and register with a VAT number, apply for special permits, hire employees, and start their business.
When doing business in Congo, first impression is very crucial. You will notice that they are very warm and welcoming, but that first impression can decide how a conversation can end or how it will go. Some of the aspects that you should definitely take into account are the religion and the clothing. So the religion, nowadays they have Christianity, Islam, but also traditional religion in Congo. and besides that, many more. But especially for the traditional religion, you will see that fetishes and masks are still very common. And it can even be that when you're doing businesses, things or situations related to those religion, to the African traditional religion, can take place. Now, about the clothing, when doing businesses, you will always see or often see the Congolese liputa, which is basically a very colorful tissue that they use to make clothes out of or dresses out of. So those are mostly used during weddings, but also for parties, for politics, but also to yeah, just express on TV. Last, I want to talk about the local currency. So in Congo, they nowadays use the Congolese franc as a local currency, and that local currency must be in a good condition or a good state, otherwise it won't be accepted.
The official language in Congo is French, but however, they have different other national languages, which is Lingala, Swahili, and others. The best month to do business in Congo is January to March and from June to September. Congolese are very relaxed in their culture, but when it comes to business, the best option is to dress very smart. Punctuality is not their strong point, but it is very necessity in doing business, and also politeness is a necessity.
Finally, last but not least, the vision of Congo is to strive for a better future for the citizens, to overcome corruption, unify and consolidate its armed force, and of course to ensure freedom of assembly and free speech for its citizens.
So now that we're at the end of our presentation, we can conclude that Congo is a very interesting country when it comes to natural sources, when it comes to culture as well. And we know that first impression is very, very, very important in Congo, and that it's actually a very interesting country for future investors, but also when it comes to establishing your own business. So it opens really many doors, and yeah, we hope that you learn more or that you gain more insights about doing business in Congo. Thank you very much for your attention.